after, let's look forward to Dundee against Hearts and join the commentary team of Alan Preston and Rob McLean.
Thanks, Kenny. So good to be back home for Dundee, having played their League Cup group games at Brecon, while the finishing touches were put to the Dens Park playing surface. They are able to kick off their Premiership campaign. Second weekend, of course, on home soil, and let's hope it's home soil that stands up to the weather conditions a bit better than it did last season. They were sprinkling the pitch pre-match, as Alan was telling you earlier on, and well, they didn't need any sprinklers last season to add to the moisture on the pitch. It was a big problem, became a big embarrassment to the club, but they've spent a lot, they've invested a lot of time and work and money in getting it right, and they seem pretty confident that it will stand up to everything that's thrown at it in the course of this campaign. Should be a good game to be played on top of the new playing surface today, you would think, as well, with both Dundee and Hearts showing one change in their lineups, which picked up a point in the opening weekend. Dundee switched from a back three to a back four, and it's the other way around for Hearts. One personnel change each. So Dundee with John McCracken in goals, a back four of Ethan Ingram, Antonio Portales, Jordan McGee and Zihad Larkesh in the central midfield area. Mo Sila, Luke McCowan, Lyle Cameron, and in the attacking areas for the home team, Scott Tiffany is the player coming in to augment the attacking talents of Simon Murray and Seb Palmer Holden, who've been helping themselves to a fair few League Cup goals, the pair of them. And of course, Palmer Holden scored one of the goals in the derby last weekend. Hearts with the incoming Daniel Oyegoke in defence. Jan Danda, as we heard, is on the bench for starters today. So Kent and Rolls and Oyegoke at the back. Taylor and Penrice are the wing backs. Grant and Devlin central midfield. Barry Mackay, Lawrence Shankland, Kenneth Vargas up in the attacking areas for the men in maroon. Don Robertson is the referee at Dens, and we are all set to go in this third and final match Saturday in the Premiership, with lots of action to follow tomorrow, of course. And you need look no further or listen no further than Sportscenter tomorrow afternoon, as Oyegoke takes his first touch, the former Brentford player, down the right side of the defensive back three for Hearts. Then it's Kai Rolls feeding the ball into the midfield, and it's all broken up by Mo Sila for Dundee. Won it and then lost it, and Shankland looking for his first sniff of an opportunity, and in the end Dundee get it clear, having got themselves an equaliser across the road at Tannadice last weekend, and might have gone on to win the game. It was certainly entertaining in the derby. Luke McCowan heavily involved early on here, and the ball goes out for a throw-in just underneath us, midway inside the Hearts half, throw-in for the home team. And it's Zihad Larkesh to take the throw-in for them. The skipper, McCowan, works it on towards Tiffany. Hearts snapping into the challenges early on, and the ball goes out for another throw. Healthy contingent, Alan, of Hearts fans behind Zander Clark's goal, who've been getting here as early as they could because there was a bit of traffic trouble, and there's an early shot for Clark to deal with as well. Struck by Cameron, 25 yards out, swinging and swerving, and touched round the post by the Hearts keeper.
Lovely hit by Cameron. He gets the ball quickly out his feet and he hits it with his right foot. It's going in. But a really good save by Zander Clark, diving to his left-hand side for a corner to Dundee. It's quite windy out there, Rob, as you can imagine. Yeah,
it is a swirling breeze around Dens as the corner kick is steered back towards Ethan Ingram, right-hand side for Dundee, looking to get the ball in the box, maybe overdoing it, a little bit over-elaborate, and now wishing they'd just got the ball in the box, but they have won it back. And Hearts having some defending to do early on, and Zander Clark having a save to make early on. Sharp he was as he flung himself across to his left, solidly behind that long-range effort from Lyle Cameron.
It's been a good start from Dundee, shooting down the slope, as we know. At Dens, long throw-in from Ingram coming in.
Ethan Ingram, right-hand side, winding up for the long throw. En route, headed away by Rolls. The ball breaking down towards Larkesh on his right foot. And he was leaning back, struck it on the half volley, always on the rise, no great threat to Clark that time.
The game last Saturday that Hearts played, Taylor was so pivotal for them, and especially in that opening hour against Rangers, getting forward, using his energy. They'll be hoping to do the same again. Larkesh may have his hands full if Hearts can get the ball out to Taylor, but it's been Dundee on the front foot so far.
Hearts in their change colours, that cream top,
yeah,
our fashion correspondent.
Really nice, lovely.
Yeah, cream top, maroon shorts, maroon socks for Hearts, and Dundee in their traditional dark blue, and playing right to left as we look from the back of the main stand. They haven't taken away the pillars, sadly. They'll be here forevermore, as the ball is played up towards Simon Murray on his own, but does such a great job even when he is isolated up front. He's a real handful, and he's held the ball up cleverly, and it's played inside, and it's Scott Tiffany with a chance to get a shot in from a tight angle. He just couldn't get it gathered. He came under late pressure there as Dundee created again. They really have come out of the blocks here.
Yeah, it all starts for Murray on the right hand side. He's really good, and it breaks into the box. Tiffany, I think he's really unlucky in the end. He just gets caught under his feet, can't get it out for the shot, and it runs out for a by kick to Hearts. A great start, as you rightly said, Rob. Dundee on the front foot, winning second balls.
Long ball forward from Rolls, and easily fended away, and it has been pretty much one-way traffic in the opening minutes. An offside flag going up against Simon Murray. I'm not sure why the officials don't just let play go on at that stage, because Hearts were just working it along the back line.
Totally agree with you. It wasn't as if it was a Dundee player near. There's no need. They put their flags up at inappropriate times, and when you wanted to go up for a clear offside to keep it down.
Yeah, nothing like an early whinge in the game, as Penrice looks to get himself forward down that left-hand side. Looks very comfortable for Hearts already in that either left back or left wing back position.
I think Cochrane last year was very good for Hearts, and obviously selling him on. And it brings James Penrice in. I thought he was excellent last week, really good. Bit understated performance, I would say. Wasn't one to really catch the eye, but I thought he was brilliant. He
had a good shot at goal, didn't he, that produced a good save. The ball is played to Luke McCowan. All sorts of speculation about the Dundee skipper. The man who's wearing the armband at the moment, about whether he might be spirited away. There's lots of interest in him. We'll maybe talk to Tony Docherty afterwards about that, and depending on the result, he may or may not answer it. The ball switched across to the other side, and Larkesh left side for Dundee. Then it's Jordan McGee, and alongside him Antonio Portales, the Mexican. Ethan Ingram shut down quickly, and the ball flies out for a throw-in on the far side. Dundee 0, Hearts 0 early on at Dens Park. Good crowd in, crackling atmosphere. The Dundee fans happy to be back at home for this game, and hoping that the playing surface is not going to be the topic of conversation it was regularly last season. The ball back with John McCracken, who fires it down the right-hand side. Watched all the way by Penrice.
Look at the corner flags, Rob. It's really blustery out there.
Yeah, there's one corner flag on the far side that's just about... I don't know if corner flags can bend double, but if they could, it would be bent double. Dundee just working it through the channels. Palmer Holden coming short to get involved, and the football from Dundee has been mighty impressive in the opening minutes. They're certainly taking this to Hearts right from the start.
It has been. Cameron, McCowan, Tiffany's been on the ball. He's got a rove and roll. Tiffany, starts on the left, goes over to the right. He's had the effort there a few minutes ago when he just miscontrolled it in the box.
Yeah, Tony Docherty was just telling us there in the pre-match interview that he was talking to the players about taking momentum from late on at Tannadice into the early stages of this one, and that seems to have been what's happened.
Well, they've got nothing to be afraid of. They played very well last week, and also there are still a lot of players here that did play last season and were wonderful for Tony Docherty and Dundee, and we're hoping to replicate that this season.
Well, we've been raving about Gerald Taylor. I was asking about him in the pre-match interview, and he hasn't touched the ball so far, as Dundee have pretty much dominated. But Luke McCowan losing possession. Kenneth Vargas right in the middle of the pitch, 25 yards out, and it's just sneaked wide of the post from Vargas. A real opportunity as he picked up possession after the mistake from McCowan. Didn't catch the shot particularly firmly, but it was mighty close.
That was very close, and it's a mistake by McCowan. Doesn't make many of them, but he's acknowledging it to his back four, saying he's sorry. He's giving it to Vargas. Vargas runs through. Taylor was bursting right up the inside of Lacaresh, and it was an effort, right foot effort, what, 25 yards out, Robbie? I think you're right. He didn't catch it correctly, just wide of the post.
Yeah, John McCracken was scrambling across, stretching out a right glove, and he was happy to watch it going right side of the post as far as he was concerned. Wrong side for Vargas. That's the first chance for Hearts, and it stems from a blatant error from Luke McCowan, and he knows he can't afford to be getting caught in the ball as he was there, and that's just that just gives Hearts a little bit of encouragement. It just gets them into the game.
It does, and I think Vargas has been a really good signing as well last year, you know, bringing him in, other side of the world he comes from, but he's settled in really well, scored some really important goals.
Late challenge on Simon Murray. It was Daniel Oyegoke who came lunging in, and Murray was just too quick with it, managed to nick the ball away, and the defender was committed to the sliding challenge, and Don Robertson brings it back for the free kick right in the middle of the pitch and about 10 yards inside the Hearts half. 0-0 so far on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland.
There's all these new names at the start of the season.
And our good luck.
It's a big lad, the Greek lad that plays with Motherwell's going to be a worry.
Exactly, he is a big name, isn't he? Here come Hearts with Lawrence Shankland, who switches the ball to the left side, and Dundee could be under pressure here. Shankland looking to get it back. Danger not over for Dundee. Worked back from the byline, and Dundee then do manage to pick up the pieces, get it launched down the pitch, but it is beginning to swing end to end now as Hearts settle into this. Oyegoke switches it across to Kai Rolls. George Grant, Cammy Devlin in the middle of the midfield. Now Gerard Taylor, right hand side, and Hearts just doing what they would have wanted to do right from the start, I guess, switching it around the pitch, getting a feel of the ball, getting into the game after that early flurry from the home team. Ryan Kent is Frankie Kent, I should say, in between the two central defenders, Oyegoke and Rolls, and Larkesh has just taken his eye off it underneath us, and the ball goes under his boot and out for a Hearts throw-in.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy there from Dundee, get back in possession, and it's just a poor touch. Allows Hearts to get a throw-in midway through the Dundee half.
Taylor's throw, the Costa Rican gets it back. Pressure from Sila, and the ball is back with Oyegoke again. England under-20 international, and he is a big unit if you haven't seen him so far.
4 years at Arsenal, it's a fantastic football education you get there.
Lovely layoff from Shankland as the ball was played into his feet. Cleared only as far as Taylor. Down the right side he goes, getting it back on the byline, and it's a good cut back as well. And it's scrambled behind by Dundee, and Hearts will have the first corner kick of the game.
Yeah, that's the first time. It won't be the last time that Taylor will be at the byline. Good play by Devon, lovely weighted pass down the line, and Taylor's there, but cut out by the Dundee defender at the near post. Corner to Hearts.
Earlier Rangers 2, Motherwell 1, 2 3 o'clock kickoffs. Ross County 1, Dundee United 1. Corner kick for Hearts. Right hand side. Outswinger, glancing header at the near post. Lawrence Shankland was waiting for the ball to drop, but it was always going to be awkward to get that on target.
So Oyegoke down in the box. At the far end, referees blowing his whistle for a head knock.
It's been a solid start to the season from Dundee. They certainly helped themselves to a few goals in the League Cup competition. They've now scored 20 already this season, 18 of them in the League Cup, as they won every game on the way to the knockout stages, and looked pretty impressive as well, coming back for a 2-2 draw at Tannadice last Sunday.
That was just great to have that derby back. You know, United have been going up, then Dundee get relegated, then vice versa. We've not had it for a number of years. It was a brilliant derby last week.
It was. It's pretty consistent as well, isn't it, in terms of entertainment? The Dundee derby, it usually comes up with, you know, you don't see too many 0-0s in the Dundee derby.
I don't see many 0-0s with Dundee, actually.
No. Throw in for Hearts, left-hand side. James Penrice with ball in hand. Sunshine on Dens. Conditions great in that respect, but as Alan said, it's a blustery wind, and when the ball is in the air, it is getting wobbled around a bit. Good ball winning from Mo Sila. He's sometimes the sort of player that you don't really see in a game because he doesn't do the spectacular stuff, but he certainly does a lot of breaking up of play, doesn't he?
Yeah, spot on, Rob. He just sits in front of the centre half, and that allows Cameron and McCowan to go on if they can, Tiffany, and he'll just sit and protect, make sure they're not caught on the break. He does a great job for Dundee.
Ingram's throw to Palmer Holden. The ball ricocheting around a bit. It is a little bit of a scrappy phase in the game. It got off to quite a smooth start as far as Dundee were concerned. They put some nice football together, produced a good save from Zander Clark, put on a fair bit of early pressure, but now it's settled down a little as far as Hearts are concerned. And I think there was some traffic trouble on the way, wasn't there, for their fans getting here?
But you can see them now. The end's almost full now as well. Yeah, there was the Queensferry crossing. There was a bump on that, which tailed back for a number of miles.
John McCracken clearing on his left foot, and clearly not as happy on his left as he is on his right. Came through the Hamilton Academy, John McCracken, then went down to Norwich. And the ball has gone out for a Hearts throw. Stevie Naismith was almost chasing down the track after the ball himself, so keen was he to get it back into play as quickly as possible from the throw-in. Dundee intercept, and Cameron tries to work a 1-2 with Simon Murray, and the ball slips out again just underneath us for a throw-in.
You can see Stephen Naismith there. He's wanting more from the team. He's wanting a quicker tempo. Taylor lets the ball go out, and he's wanting him to grab it quick and get the ball back in play if he can. It's been quite, I know Dundee started well, Hearts have come into it. It's been a short piece. That Cameron effort well saved by Clark, and then the Vargas shot just wide of the target at the other end.
You can probably hear the wind rustling around on the microphone as Barry Mackay darts forward for Hearts. Penrice on the overlap, played it in towards the back post area. I think it might have been a shot that was mishit, but it almost worked out as the perfect pass for Vargas.
Yeah, I think it's a shot. I really do. Yeah. He takes it first time and drags it, and it rightfully goes across goal. And Vargas was coming in, but the Dundee defender gets in and slides and knocks it away. And
that's the thing, isn't it? If you hit a shot across the keeper, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. It could pop up for somebody else, and it very nearly did there. It was good defending from Dundee in the end to deal with that, because it could have run through for Vargas, and he might just have had a tap-in. He had a 25-yarder earlier, which he dragged wide. Here come Hearts again. Growing force in the game. Gerald Taylor is within 25 yards of goal now, right-hand side, tried to thread it through, and Luke McCowan saw it coming, and it's a great pass out for Scott Tiffany, scurrying forward, but within the space of a few yards, his lead was swallowed up by Daniel Uyogoke, showing great power and pace to get back there and snuff out any threat down the left-hand side from Dundee.
Some amount of pace, honestly, it was brilliant. You thought he was away, Cameron, you really did. You thought he's away. The next minute he's caught.
He was a bit like a 400-metre runner in the Olympics, the pace he showed there to get back at Scott Tiffany, who Dundee thought they had a good break going there. Taylor trying to get down the right side, stopped, ball out, Larkesh intercepting. And it's Jordan McGee as the ball was played into the corner towards Vargas. And keeping the defending simple and straightforward, getting it out of play, not trying to overdo it. Taylor's throw this time intercepted by Larkesh. McCowan with a lovely flighted ball over the top of Oyegoke, and outside his area comes Xander Clark. Frankie Kent got the shout from the keeper, left it to him, but it wasn't getting into the box where he could pick it up. Had to just launch that away right-footed out for the Dundee throw, midway inside the Hearts half.
Again, the wind's playing havoc. I thought that was going to roll into the box, but Clark done the right thing. Calls to centre half, gets something to clear the area, and then he clears the ball.
Chested back to the Frenchman, Larkesh stepping in off the left side, firing one back towards Portales, and then further back still from the Mexican to goalkeeper McCracken. Long angled ball into the corner. Well, maybe Scott Tiffany could have turned on the pace a bit to get on the end of that. It bounces away from Dundee's little number 7 in the end, but maybe the wind was involved there again, Alan, as it helped the ball out of play.
Yeah, without a doubt, you know, and also the wetting off the pitch at the start, it really took off the ball, but I think the wind playing havoc there with a kick out from McCracken. Dundee 0, Hearts 0
on the BBC. Costa Rican Gerald Taylor making an early impression, who throws the ball forward, and Jordan McGee heads it straight back. Oyegoke gets up for the header. George Grant flicks it. Kai rolls, fires it left-footed, and it's bouncing awkwardly for McGee, who hooks it away. And McCowan, trying to steer a pass towards Larkesh, steers it out of play close to his manager. And it's going to be another throw-in down this side, this right-hand side for Hearts, wearing 82. Gerald Taylor, just 23, as Stephen Naismith was saying pre-match. Lots of experience for someone of that age, and clearly lots of ability as well. Shankland was the target. Dundee deal with the problem, or potential problem, pretty well. And again, the whistle of Don Robertson stops the game when you just wondered whether he could have let it flow.
Yeah, you'd like to see him let it go. Dundee had the ball comfortably. They were on the attack, and he's blown up again. It's a little bit scrappy at the moment.
Yeah. There's a shaded area around the Dundee penalty box. Other than that, the controversial, maybe not this season controversial playing surface is bathed in sunshine. McCracken fires the ball forward. We're still goalless at Dens Park as things stand, and it's he's put too much on it, and again maybe the wind plays its part, but by now the players should be adjusting to the wind, because that free kick from the goalkeeper bounces straight out of play down at the other end, and that just hands the ball back to Hearts.
Yeah, Tony Docherty's having a go at his keeper just to take a bit off it. Different club he needs out the bag.
Yeah. Rolls plays it forward. Dundee are backtracking. Vargas and Shankland threatening, and again it's Mosila mopping things up, doing a really good job for Dundee, and the ball is played back out to him, and he just does the simple things, plays a pass to Larkesh, and the ball goes out of Taylor for a Dundee throw.
He's got a really good habit, Sila, of passing to his teammates.
Yeah.
He just keeps the ball, very rarely gives it away.
Yeah, it's not going to catch on, that, is it? Larkesh with a throw down the line for Murray. In went Daniel Oyegoke, and the ball is out again for a Dundee throw-in. Tiffany getting involved this time, not for long though, but he does show tenacity to get back and win it from Taylor. Now it's Murray, not much room or time in this game at the moment, but good pass from Murray, opens play out, finding Cameron, and Dundee on the move down the right-hand side. In comes the cross ball, on the turn, Tiffany, shot blocked. Cameron lays it back, McCowan trying to steer a shot in. Good pressure this from Dundee, good blocks defensively from Hearts. Dundee are starting to do what they did right from kickoff, which is threaten in wave after wave of attack. It's been a good little spell, this, for the home team, looking to make a breakthrough.
It has been. McCowan had the effort at the edge of the box. Hearts managed to get a block in there.
Ingram trying to bustle his way through. Again, it's solid defending from Hearts. Now they look to break. Shankland on the ball. Good feet as ever. Balance, power on the ball. And he was fouled in the end. It will be a free kick midway inside the Hearts half.
Yeah, just Hearts will just want to calm the game down a little bit now. Dundee in the last few minutes again. Bit of impetus. 2 or 3 efforts at goal, trying to good blocks though from Hearts, have got to be said, but Dundee are on the front foot again.
Yeah, getting plenty of shots away, and sooner or later you think one of them might just find the back of the net. Goalless at this stage at Dens as the ball is played back to Xander Clark.
Oh.
He just panicked there slightly because the pass looked as if it was dropping short. McCowan now for Tiffany, left side of the box. Scott Tiffany cuts in! Great effort, great goal. Scott Tiffany fires Dundee ahead against Hearts. Xander Clark beaten 1-0 for the home team, back on their home patch.
That's brilliant for Dundee, but horrific, absolutely horrific for Xander Clark. It's a horrible kick out, and I thought, he's what, 25, 30 yards. I thought the kid was going to hit it first time. Chip it over the top of the keeper. He does it, he elects to give it to Tiffany, who cuts inside, and then Clark gets beat at his near post. Couple of errors from the keeper there. Firstly the kick out, secondly beat low to his right hand side. Really poor. Brilliant for Dundee, really poor goal for Hearts to lose.
Yeah, he was really spooked, wasn't he, Xander Clark, by that back pass, and yes, it did look as if it was dropping short, but ultimately it didn't. Ultimately he got there fine, and then it was a horrible miss kick that gifted possession to Dundee. McCowan moved on, and it was Scott Tiffany, and I think you call that a managerial masterstroke when the player who's brought into the team, the one change, gets the all-important goal, and Scott Tiffany has just done that as he cut inside and then screwed the shot in the other way, and it got in between Clark and the post for the opening goal of this game. And Hearts immediately launch it forward, and Larkesh gets it away. Well, that's Scott Tiffany's first goal of the season. Didn't manage to get in among the goals in the League Cup, but he's got a really important goal to get his team in front here against Hearts, and he's done really good work again, going back the way to nick the ball away. And the Dundee fans around us are well impressed with what they're getting from Scott Tiffany at the moment.
There's no doubt in his ability, it's just consistency from him. You know, he's terrific pace, good trickery. As we've seen, he can score a goal as well. He has to do it on a regular basis.
Larkesh with the throw in from halfway, helped on by Simon Murray, nobody in behind him, and Frankie Kent can just let that trundle through to Xander Clark. Out it goes to Kai Rolls, stepping forward up to halfway, and then he hits a long diagonal which Larkesh nods clear, and Tiffany is there to hook the ball over his head and away. Collected by Oyegoke, wearing number 5 for Hearts. Alongside him is George Grant. Across it goes to Rolls. Right in the middle of the pitch again, it's George Grant. Allowed to step forward. Then it's another square pass. Rolls out wide. Barry Mackay looking to get involved. It all breaks down in the end, and then there's a clumsy challenge by Rolls and a yellow card for that lunging tackle.
Yeah, a couple of mistakes from Rolls again. Really poor pass, and then he jumps into a lunge and tackle there.
There just seemed a bit of uncertainty from Hearts on the ball about where they were going.
They look spooked, as you said, Rob, but I think since that goal's gone in a couple of minutes ago, but they just don't look as confident. You know, that do you want Rolls wide left, try to whip crosses in the box? No, you'd rather Penrice was that man, but Hearts have just got to settle down, get themselves back into the game, and as far as Dundee is concerned, just keep going. You know, they've certainly got the upper hand.
Yeah, I think they're worth it, aren't they?
Yeah.
They lead here by 1-0 on BBC Radio Scotland. Dundee 1, Hearts 0, the 5:30 kickoff. 3 games today in the Premiership, 3 tomorrow. Everything well covered Sunday on Sports Sound. And it's going to be interesting to see what Hearts can do in this game. Conditions a little bit difficult, you would say, because of the wind, which is bustling around the place. On the ball, Kent. On halfway for Hearts. Receiving it is Grant. On it goes to Rolls, and wide is Penrice. Just shifting it around, but maybe so far a little bit lacking in ideas. Rolls plays it to the byline. Penrice turns it back, and Hearts unable to get a shot away. 2 players interested there, but neither decisive, and now it's Dundee getting forward again, and Cameron, McCowan and Tiffany. And Larkesh had made a good run down the left side of the box if he could have been picked out, but the home team still have it with Tiffany. Good ball winning from Mackay, and now on the turn is Vargas, and he's pulled down. Yeah. Well, he's grabbing the headlines at the moment. Scott Tiffany with the only goal of the game. That's a yellow card against him, and he's not surprised to see the yellow card as he hauled down Vargas, because he knew that the Hearts man was getting away from him.
Tony Docherty's having a go at the referee, and probably rightly so. That last break from Hearts when Devlin's at the byline and cuts it back, Mackay's going in to try and knock it into the net. It's a brilliant challenge from Silla, but he gets a head knock and he's lying down in the 18-yard box for maybe 20-30 seconds, and Tony's having a go at the referee for not stopping the game. Silla's still holding his head.
Hearts have a free kick 10 yards in from the touchline, right hand side, midway inside the Dundee half. Penrice leaves it to Mackay. Barry Mackay swings the ball in, a looping header towards the back post, helped behind by Luke McCowan, and it will be a Hearts corner.
Yeah, I just think Hearts need a bit more energy about them, a bit more pace if they can. Just up the tempo a little bit. It's all very, very slow and methodical at the moment from them. As we're Dundee, when they get the ball, they want to break quickly.
A little bit lethargic, Al, from Hearts so far. Corner kick, though, right-hand side. It could change in a heartbeat. Barry Mackay with the outswinging corner kick. Good delivery. A stooping header. The follow-up shot blocked. It's a really good bit of defending to block that angled shot. And Dundee get the ball clear down the field, out for a throw-in. Looking to cling on to that 1-0 advantage as long as they can. Scott Tiffany with the only goal of the game. Throw in for Hearts, left-hand side.
It needs to be done quicker, and you can see Stephen Naismith with his arms out. The whole possible penalty at the other end. VAR check. Didn't see anything at all. No. Unless it was at the Shanklin hit with the handball. Did the keeper save it? We're so far away with pillars in front of us. Play on. Yeah,
check over. The excitement for the Hearts fans was short-lived. Frankie Kent to Daniel Oyegoke, halfway line, clips one up to the edge of the box. Firm header away by Jordan McGee.
What they can't get is Penrice and Taylor on the ball, Rob. They can't get them up the park. They're the ones that last week were providing crosses into the box, excitement, taking people on, and everyone went with them. They're not doing that this week. They can't get them on the ball at all. That's a credit to Dundee.
Yeah. Shanklin back to Taylor. In goes McCowan. They're perfectly willing to scrap Dundee, and they've done that pretty effectively in the game, as well as get the only goal so far. And their shape and their system is proving frustrating for Hearts, unable to do what they want to do in the game.
Yeah, both sides swapping systems from last week, and sometimes you can complicate things too much.
George Grant on the ball, squares it to Rolls, who's able to step forward into the midfield as Dundee retreat, but it's penetration, and it's a good ball across the face of goal from Penrice. Glancing header away for Dundee, and it's now right side with Taylor. Gerald Taylor shrugging off Tiffany, standing it up, but he sends it beyond the back post. Hearts still have possession. The ball clipped in at an angle, looking for the head of Shanklin, but beyond him and comfortably pouched by McCracken.
That was better play from Taylor, hangs up the back post just a bit far. Then again it comes out, and it's Barry Mackay this time, over hits his cross into McCracken's arms. But if they can get Taylor on the ball, you know, there you can see Tiffany doesn't want to be defending in the left back area. If they can get him one-on-one, it's a good opportunity for Hearts to get forward. Yeah,
but as you said, it hasn't happened often enough, either Taylor or Penrice on the other side. Here come Dundee, busy in the midfield as ever. That double act of Cameron and McCracken so effective. Ethan Ingram makes a good positive run down the right-hand side, wins a throw-in close to the corner flag, and again Dundee getting themselves into that final third. And they've spent a fair bit of time in there in this first half, and they will feel they deserve their 1-0 advantage.
Here we go again with a long throw in.
Another England under-20 international, Ingram, with the long throw, aiming for Jordan McGee. Hearts get it clear, but it's back into the box. And spectacular effort from long range from Portales in the end, which doesn't trouble Zander Clark. Played up long for Vargas. Taylor looks to get involved. Down goes Gerald Taylor looking for a free kick. Don't think so. And Larkesh plays it away up to Simon Murray. It's really well collected as Hearts backed off. Murray controlled it. Now he hits the deck. No free kick for the Kent challenge.
I think that's fair. Taylor wasn't fouled at one end and Murray wasn't fouled at the other end there. I think the referee's got them spot on.
Yeah, just let it go. In the Den's sunshine, Dundee 1, Hearts 0. And the ball is with the Hearts central defender Oyegoke. Long ball forward, and Jordan McGee was stretching for it to get it away. And yet again, surprise, surprise, it's Mo Sila who gets the ball out of harm's way in the end for Dundee. He's done all sorts of good work in this first half, protecting in front of the four and sometimes even behind the defence as well, helping out.
Yeah, but I've got to say, I think he's probably been the best player on the pitch. At the moment, he's done very well.
On the halfway line is George Grant. Mackay looking to get involved creatively, but another attacking move fizzles out for Hearts. That's been a feature, and Dundee have looked a lot more convincing as they've gone forward, offside against Simon Murray.
Just a bit slack coming back there, Simon Murray.
They've got plenty of the ball, Hearts, that's not the issue. It's being positive with it when they have it.
But even then, Penrice is on the touchline. He's got to stay there, give them width. He comes in, narrows the game.
On the ball, Oyegoke. Channeling it out left, right side for Taylor. Curling ball in, bouncing. It was awkward. Stabbed away by Portales. And now Larkesh picks it up, looks comfortable on the ball, and he's played a useful one forward for Palmer Holden, who sends a rasping shot in from the right-hand side, and on the follow-up was Lyle Cameron with a little hitch-kick volley from 15 yards out, which ended up being straight at Zander Clark.
Really good play again from Dundee. I was saying it, that's the difference. When Dundee break, Roberts, with real pace and energy, and they get bodies into the box. Palmer Holden, they were the first effort, back to Cameron, good save in the end by Clark, but really good play by Dundee on the counter-attack.
Yeah, they carry a real punch when they go forward, do Dundee. That's been a feature of the first half, and yeah, at the moment you would say the opposite for Hearts. Yeah,
it's very slow and methodical. Hearts, when they get the ball, it's side to side, it's nice and easy. Okay, there's no so much enthusiasm. As soon as Dundee get it, it's like, let's go, get forward quick. How many players can we get in the opposition box? As we've seen there, Cameron's had 2-3 efforts at goal already.
On the ball, Gerald Taylor, right hand side for Hearts, angles it back towards George Grant in the midfield. Cross it goes, and Devlin escorts it out to Penrice. Plenty of passes completed, if you like that sort of thing, for Hearts. Oyegoke fires it through and just spins off Mackay and behind for a goal kick. Again, a lack of conviction about Hearts going forward. It is,
and because it's so slow that even Simon Murray, every Dundee player was behind the ball there. So Hearts are having to break through 10 outfield players to try and get to score a goal if they can. It's got to be moved quicker. You know, and if you can go from right centre half to wide right instead of going to the right back or out to the... It's just too slow and methodical, Rob.
So impressive last season, Dundee, in finishing top 6. And, well, at the moment, in the first couple of games, if you're going to make a snap judgment, you would say they could well be in the frame to do same again this season. Palmer Holden making a powerful run into the corner down the right-hand side for Dundee. eventually outnumbered, but the home team won it back. Groans from the Hearts fans as they were unable there to keep the ball. It's been a stuttering performance first half from the Jambos. Sila again really tidy on the ball. Cameron's cross ball in. It wasn't far away from the red head of Simon Murray. That red head is in his hands at the moment because that cross wasn't far away from being right on the money.
Yeah, brilliant ball in from Cameron again. And Murray's not far away, peels to the back post. The ball's maybe a foot above him. Really good play again from Dundee. All they've done is hem Hearts in there, taking the ball off Devlin. Devlin slack in the left back area. The ball's back's whipped in, and Murray's almost on the end of it.
Well, they've made changes in terms of one change in personnel and a change of shape as well, Tony Docherty and Dundee, and you would have to say it is working very well for them here. Wonder if Hearts are going to have to alter things to get themselves back in the game. No major damage done, it's only one goal behind, but Dundee threatening to add to it as the cross comes in from Penrice, and Antonio Portales does the defending, gets it away. And Hearts start again. Ball on the right side with Oyegoke. Down the right side of the box for Lawrence Shankland. Steers it wide for Taylor. Sliding in was Larkesh. Did the ball go out? Yes,
Corner.
it did. Yep. It did look as if it was behind, although Taylor played on for a few seconds.
It's a by kick.
By kick, wow.
The assistant gave the corner.
Yeah. Glorious confusion between the officials.
And he is, 4 yards from the incident?
Yeah. Too close, maybe. Dundee fans around us were pretty happy at the outcome. And they're pretty happy the way this game is going at the moment. Their team is 1-0 ahead. And if there's a next goal coming, you would put your money on Dundee rather than Hearts.
Yeah, you would. You know, I think they've played very well. Middle of the park, they've been dominating. Hearts are too slow, as we keep touching on. Up front, Murray just bumps into defenders, which produces second balls, and there's Cameron onto another one, as they all seem to be. It's Dundee onto second ball after second ball.
Yeah. There just seems to be more energy about Dundee.
And it's not, I mean, that's just a long ball. Murray makes a nuisance of it. Kent can't get a good clearance on, and then Cameron's onto the second ball. Hearts have got to pick up the second ball if they can. Can Kent be more aggressive with Murray? It's not been good enough from Hearts in this opening period. But take nothing away from Dundee, they deserve to be ahead.
Cameron on the end of the Ingram throw. Now the fullback tries to force himself towards the byline. Just maybe a little bit too forceful. And the free kick goes against him. He looks a handy recruit for Dundee. So does Palmer Holden so far.
Yeah, they get a lot of the recruitment done by the aid of Burnley. Burnley helped them out as well. So some of these players look very, very tasty.
They do indeed. And of course we were talking pre-match about Billy Coumetio, the young Frenchman who's not quite ready to start, but judging by what Tony Docherty said pre-match, had a few hours more in Dundee, he might well have been ready to start in this one. And he's got a fair old CV.
Yeah, excellent, really good. Big lad as well. You know, and if he can be half as good as the player they got from Liverpool last year, Owen Beck, he would be such a good player.
I think he was part of the recommendation party. Forward goes Luke McCowan as Dundee sweep into attack again. The pass was just behind Palmer Holden that made it awkward, but Ethan Ingram's won it back. They're really dominating this, Dundee. Larkesh down the line. Bad tackle on Scott Tiffany from Gerard Taylor, and the Dundee fans are on their feet. It was a wild lunge, and Don Robertson is just taking a moment to himself here to make up his mind about this one, as Tiffany is still writhing around on the deck.
Well, they could give a yellow and then it goes to VAR. We're going to have a look, but it was a really clumsy challenge. Horrendous looking from when we were.
Yellow card for Taylor. The booing from the Dundee fans who reckon it was more serious than that, but VAR will be checking everything, of course. If they think that Don Robertson's punishment is not serious enough, and it was probably somewhere around the orange card.
Clumsy, really.
Category. Yeah, it was clumsy. And maybe symptomatic of how uncomfortable Hearts feel in the game at the moment, and a bit concerned about going further behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a change of shape from both sides, but I've got to say Tony Docherty is certainly working. And it's not something that is really tactical. All it is they're on to second balls all the time. Dundee are on to second ball after second ball. Murray's a handful.
Yeah.
He doesn't win his fair share of headers, but he makes sure that Kent and Rose, and they don't win them. They just knock it down. And when they do, it's Cameron, it's McCowan, it's all these lads onto the second ball, onto the front foot. Hopefully Tiffany's all right, because his left ankle took a dull one there.
He just flashed another yellow card there, Don Robertson. It was either to Luke McCowan or to, I think it might have been to Antonio Portales, and I think McCowan was called over to speak to the referee and to explain to his teammate why he'd been booked. So presumably Portales overdid the protest about the challenge on Tiffany, and he's been booked. That's maybe what happened.
Something else is going on here. Is that a yellow card for Stephen Naismith? Tony Docherty maybe?
Yeah, I think it'll be for the Dundee technical area as he strides past Stephen Naismith. So somebody else is...
the manager has to get the yellow though, doesn't he?
Yeah. So Don Robertson in conversation with Tony Docherty, and I'm sure Tony Docherty also in conversation with Don Robertson about that challenge, and he throws his arms out wide. Tony Docherty can't believe that there's a yellow card coming his way, and before that it looked like Portales, I think, maybe.
Yeah, it looks like Portales, but I think it's Colin Stephen, the fourth official. I think Tony's maybe been giving him an earful.
Yeah.
And that's what that's for.
Meantime, back in the action. It's a free kick for Dundee, and it's a couple of yards in from the touchline, left-hand side, almost in line with the edge of the penalty box. Could be a decent angle, this, for Lyle Cameron to nip one in between defenders and goalkeeper. Luke McCowan's over it as well.
Yeah, the ideal line from Cameron is between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Try and bounce it right there.
It's Cameron who swings it in, and the minute he struck it, you knew that he hadn't done what we were talking about because he put too much air on it, and it was straight into the welcoming gloves of Zander Clark.
Yeah, it was a really good opportunity there for Dundee. Needed a better quality ball in.
Shanklin with a long ball which is swinging away on the breeze and out of play close to the corner flag. In the end, it looked a decent ball when he played it, but suddenly it was veering off to the right-hand side, and I think that's gone behind for a goal kick in the end. Yeah,
I think Stephen Naismith will be disappointed in the opening 45 minutes. You know, it's not been a good enough performance. They've been out-fought, out-battled all over the pitch. Dundee players have been the better ones on the park. I think Silla's been excellent, but he's looking at his bench, Stephen Naismith now. Can he make changes? Barry Mackay's not been in the game at all.
No.
Jan Danda last week was excellent. He must have found himself really unhappy to be left on the bench today, so I would possibly looking at Danda for Mackay at the start of the second half.
We're inside stoppage time at the end of the first half, and as you can hear, a minimum of 3 minutes to be added, and good work again from Tiffany. He's doing good work off the ball in addition to what he's doing when he is in possession, and he's nipping away at Gerald Taylor, not giving him a happy time at all. Here come Dundee late first half with another opportunity. It was an overhit pass from Tiffany, otherwise Cameron could have been in. Silla in possession halfway, and he's just calmness personified when the ball comes his way. He's always available for a pass, and he always keeps it pretty plain and simple.
Again, second balls again.
Yeah, Cameron has it right side for Dundee. The ball goes back to Ingram, into Cameron again, whipped in from the right hand side, and it's gone in off Gerald Taylor. It's an own goal. It was Simon Murray's cross ball. It didn't look as if it was too difficult to deal with, but it goes in off the Costa Rican in stoppage time, and Dundee are going to have a 2-0 half-time lead.
Incredible. He goes with the wrong foot. It's as simple as that. He's got to go with his left foot and hook it away. He goes with the wrong foot, his right foot knocks it, giving Clark absolutely no chance. Thought it was tight for Murray, I really did. I thought Murray might have been tight for offside, but don't think so. But when the ball comes in, Taylor's got his body position all wrong. He's got to hit it with his left foot and just knock it up the park. He goes with his right, which pushes it across his left, and it knocks it into the bottom corner.
Yeah, it's a bizarre goal. But you'd be hard-pushed to say Dundee don't deserve to be 2 up at half-time.
No, listen, Dundee get what they deserve. They've been the better team, and again, it's come down to second balls. I mean, Dundee have been brilliant at getting the ball back. They've been brilliant at closing Hearts down. Everything that Hearts have not been, Dundee have been.
Even at this early stage in the match, it's going to be a tall order for Hearts to turn this around. They have the tools, of course, to do it if they can find some better form, but they need to play a whole lot better. Second half, and that's a big blow at the end of the first half, as they go 2 goals behind, and the Dundee fans are really enjoying their return to Dens Park, and they're enjoying this new playing surface. But more than that, they're enjoying the way their team are capitalising on this opportunity that they have, and they deserve everything they have in the game so far. They've been really energetic and industrious, and they've always looked dangerous every time they've got in and around the penalty box.
They have been, and then once again there's Murray just holding players off. I think Stephen Naismith has to make changes. Second ball's won again, Dundee are in again.
There could be more trouble ahead for Hearts. Tiffany goes down, it must be a penalty, and it will be. Could this be a Dundee double in stoppage time at the end of the first half? Penalty coming up for the home team.
Incredible stuff. Hearts again, really slack, give the ball away. Tiffany, we said it, he's got, box of tricks, cuts inside, and he's brought down. Still ball penalty. Chance for McCowan to put them 3-0 up at half-time. Incredible stuff.
Well, he scored with 10 minutes to go in the derby last weekend, Luke McCowan. Can he get the job done here? If he does, it is going to be one long way back for Hearts against dominant Dundee. Don Robertson just making sure that Zander Clark's on his line. The stand behind him is packed out with Hearts fans who are praying that Luke McCowan doesn't convert this.
The keeper's left his right last week.
Dundee skipper Luke McCowan steps up and scores brilliantly. He knew he was going to beat Zander Clark there. There was real confidence about the conversion of that penalty to Clark's right, but he barely saw it, far less thought about stopping it. It explodes past the Hearts keeper, and Dundee have themselves a 3-0 half-time lead.
You've got to say there's good value for it, Rob. They really are. Hearts have been dreadful, absolutely dreadful. They get what they deserve. And it's all right to turn up at Tynecastle against Rangers on opening day of the season. That's simple. Get yourself up for that. It's coming to Dens Park, a side that are on the up, a side that made the top 6 last year. They've shown absolutely the right attitude, the right desire, the willingness. Everything about Dundee has been magnificent, and everything about Hearts has been dreadful.
Well, the Dundee fans are reluctant to sit back down because they've been on their feet for the last few minutes, greeting goal number 2, followed very quickly by goal number 3. Now there's a little bit of a flare-up on the pitch. George Grant was down and he sprung back up, and he was making tracks towards Simon Murray, it seemed. So Hearts just losing the plot a little bit as this first half comes to a close. Well, they need the comeback of all comebacks, second half, after a first 45 which has belonged to Dundee. Both teams changed their shape, but it's been the Dundee system and the Dundee attitude and performance which sees them very much in the driving seat halfway through this game, threatening right from the start. Ahead early on, Zander Clark's mistake with a kick out, and then beaten by Scott Tiffany for 1-0. It looked as if it was going to be 1-0 at the interval, but what a stoppage time Dundee had. Firstly, an own goal, Simon Murray's cross from the byline, and Gerald Taylor got it all wrong, went with the wrong foot and beat his own goalkeeper for 2-0, and then that penalty right at the end of the half. Tiffany tripped, up-stepped Luke McCowan, the centre of transfer speculation at the moment, but his mind is very much on Dundee at the moment. He went down the middle in the derby last weekend from the spot. This time he blasted one to Xander Clark's right, and Dundee have just disappeared up the tunnel at Dens with a big half-time advantage. Dundee 3, Hearts 0.
The Scottish Premiership.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Thank you to Rob and to Alan there at Dens Park. Tom English alongside me in the studio earlier today. Ross County 1, Dundee United 1, Rangers 2, Motherwell 1. Half-time, Tom, absolutely incredible. Dundee 3, Hearts 0. They thoroughly deserve to be so far ahead.
Yeah, completely. They've totally bossed it. They've bossed the midfield. It's been an absolute mismatch. They've bossed the midfield. Cameron excellent, McCowan excellent, Tiffany further forward. They've totally controlled the game. I'm kind of in shock here.
Yeah.
I mean, Hearts played a back four last week against Rangers and were really good, really efficient. For some reason, and I don't know why, they switched to a 3. And they're losing all the battles in the centre, in the middle of the park. It's incredible to watch, actually. And 3-0 does not flatter Dundee at all. I mean, Hearts can't stop the ball coming into the box. The first goal, all 3 goals actually, were kind of comedy of errors. And Dundee have been ruthless. By far and away the better side. They look better coached, they look better drilled. And I'm at a loss to figure out this Hearts performance, this formation and this performance. It's weird.
Yeah, to pick up that word loss, Alan, I was trying to think how to describe this. They look lost, the Hearts players. They look as if they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. They don't know what their instructions are. They're all over the place.
Yeah, I think the manager's got to take the blame for this at the moment, because he's the one that sets them out and picks the players. And it's been dreadful. They've not won a second ball. They've been second best at everything. They look very lethargic. They look as if they're absolutely knackered. As where Dundee are on the front foot, they're winning second balls, they're closing Hearts players down, there's an energy about them that Hearts don't have. What do? You've got to look at the way that they've been set out. And I agree with Tom, last week I thought they were excellent, flat back 4. Sometimes managers can try and be too smart.
You know, is he overthinking
it? You know, and that's it. I mean, Stephen Haspis, we touched on it at the start, deserves his plaudits. Magnificent what he's done at Hearts so far, signed a new deal. But I think in that opening 45 minutes, he's got it wrong. And his players have certainly got it wrong, because they've not turned up. If they thought they were just going to come to Dens Park and Dundee are going to roll over and Hearts are going to go into the sunset with a victory, far from it. I think they're lucky to get away with 3, I really do. It all starts with, the first goal comes in, it's really poor from Xander Clark to start with. He panics, and I thought McCowan's going to hit it for 40 yards. He's well off his line, but he takes a touch, finds Tiffany, he cuts inside, and then Clark's beat low to his right hand. And that's possibly something that Xander's not good at, something low down to his right hand side, or something in around his feet, doesn't move them quick enough. The second goal is horrendous. Now, Taylor was a revelation last week. Can't get him in the game this week.
It's incredible.
And he gets his body position all wrong. Some of my Hearts pals are saying to me that Taylor's the signing of the season. I've went, calm down, it's been 90 minutes. Just relax. He gets his body position all wrong. He's got to go with his left foot. It's coming in, hit it with your left and clear it up the park. He tries to get it with his right, and it bullets into the bottom corner, giving Clark absolutely no chance. And Hearts are all over the place at this point. Then again, Dundee win another second ball. Tiffany's onto it. Lovely little jink in the box, and it's a stonewall penalty, and McCowan sticks it away with aplomb. Dundee have been excellent, and that's the big thing here. Don't let anyone tell you anything otherwise. Hearts have been terrible, but take nothing away from Dundee. They've been brilliant.
Yeah, very, very good.
Whatever Tony's told them at the start of the game, and they've changed their shape, it certainly worked.
Well, that's an interesting one, Tom, because speaking about changing shape, remember, I think it was Barry Robson's final game. I was up at Pittodrie that night, and Willie was on with me, and I think it was Rory, and we were talking about the in-game changes from Tony Docherty, and he changed things that night. It was almost like a very experienced manager, which he's not when he was experienced in the game, up against Barry Robson, a bit of a rookie, and he just made a change there that night, and it changed the flow of the game. He's tactically clearly very, very good.
Yeah, like he might be inexperienced manager, relatively speaking, but he's a very experienced tactician.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. And his problem solving in game last season and again tonight have been very, very good. And I think and he's got his players to fever pitch in this game. They're working so hard, but there's a lot of quality there. Through his midfield is very, very good. Up front, the movement is really good. The accuracy is good. The delivery is good. And Hearts are just... they are spooked here.
Gerald Taylor, lucky to still be in the park. What do you think?
I don't know. It was close. I think yellow probably.
Just about, yeah.
Just about. Just about. But you look at it. Ireland ran through the goals there. I mean, first of all, horrible clearance from Clark. But then Oyegoki, he's allows the space for Tiffany to shoot. He's kind of almost, and then Clark is beaten at the near post. And then the ball comes in for the own goal from Taylor. The ball is allowed in, delivery is allowed in easily again. It's a terrible lack of discipline in the Hearts defence. Maybe they don't know what they are. They're just not organised. But they're nowhere near the pitch of this game. And Dundee have been outstanding. They've been so disciplined, they've been so accurate, and they look a really good side.
Yeah, they're absolutely cruising. 3-0 to Dundee against Hearts at half-time. It was a 5:30 start at Dens Park. As a result of that, we didn't get a chance earlier on to play out the managerial interviews from the 2 3 o'clock kickoffs in the top flight this afternoon. Rangers 2, Motherwell 1 at Hampden Park. Let's now hear from the Rangers manager, Philippe Clement. He's been chatting with Martin Dowden.
Philippe, I don't think anyone could deny you the points. You deserved that. What did you make of the intensity you started with and maybe how you didn't quite finish off?
No, the intensity we started with was really good, and we could have scored 2 goals in the first 3 minutes. And then you need a little bit luck in that way that the ball goes in. We were like centimeters offside also with the goal we scored. So that's part of football. But we scored the first goal. Then you get out of nothing a goal against. That is really unlucky because John just touching the ball, Robin just touching the ball in reflex, and the ball goes in the corner of the goal. Otherwise, Jack always saves this ball. So that's the worst scenario you can have, but it's important now that the team continues in that way and doesn't start to doubt. So that's important also for the new guys coming in, to show that they have the right mentality in that way, and the team did. So there was no doubt at that moment, and we continued what we've been doing, and we scored a very good second goal also.
There didn't seem to be, sideway passes and the ball being kept at the back. A lot of pressure, particularly in that opening period. Is that the way you want to see Rangers play all the time?
Yes, of course, but people need to realise what moment you are in the season, and also that we're not playing 1 game a week. It's also different. We play every 3 days. So we need to divide powers in that way. We need to make a lot of changes. That takes also sometimes out the rhythm of players. And we need to be ready on Tuesday again, and in the weekend again, and then hopefully the week after again for midweek. So it's about dividing powers, but we kept on pushing to score the 3rd or 4th goal. And we had the chances also for that in the second half with a few good occasions, but our finishing could have been better in that way.
Vaclav Cherny, some new signings make an immediate impact, some take a bit more time. He has made quite an impact.
Yeah, he loves also the way we want to play football. We know him already a long time as a player because we follow the Dutch league, of course, and Andries knew him also really well because they work together. So he felt from the first moment really at home with everybody in the way of working, in the way of playing. It's the football he wants to play, how he loves to play. And it's a player who needs that also. So he's going to be very important for the squad. It's now looking at how many playing minutes he can get. He comes out of Euros where he had afterwards 4 weeks of holiday, like all the players have after Euros. But the difference is that Scotland, like Belgium also, starts really early compared with other leagues. And we have also European football. So it's a different schedule to get these internationals back. So we need to look really good with his playing minutes.
You talk about the schedule here in Scotland. You've got another big, massive game coming up on Tuesday. how confident are you that you can just step up another gear and take that performance level up a little bit?
Yeah, it's about looking now tomorrow what the reaction is with players after this game, and to make the right decisions then towards the Tuesday game, with who to start, with who to end. So to use your chances in a smart way, in a good way, to keep quality in the team. So it's a puzzle in that way, but I like puzzles, so it's not a problem.
Thank you. Well done. Please.
Philippe Clement there after their 2-1 victory over Motherwell at Hampden this afternoon. Let's now hear the thoughts of the Motherwell manager, Stuart Kettlewell. He was also chatting with Martin.
Stuart, the word resilience pops into my head there. You were up against it, I think it's fair to say, but you might have taken something out of that.
Yeah, we're a little bit disappointed not to, and I know sometimes that sounds a bit silly when Rangers were. I thought they were excellent in the first half. I thought they created opportunities. I thought they were slick in their general play. I thought they played very low tempo, but I felt, Martin, that we were a little bit in the back foot, and we were a little bit timid in the first half, and I didn't feel that we went and engaged with them high enough up the pitch. We rectified that in the second half very simply. Whether you want to say that Rangers were poor on the second half or we were better, I think there's a combination of both, but I concentrate my own team, and I thought we were miles better, not by changing anything tactically, but just trying to show that resilience that you reference. Again, we'll probably speak about it in a minute or so, but there's not your challenges to seek yet again within the game, having been forced into changes through injury. But when you get it into that last sort of 20, 15, counting down to 10 minutes, it was ourselves that were on the front foot. It was ourselves that were carving out opportunities. And it's Jack Butland that's pulling off an absolute wonder save for Zach Robinson, low down to his left. One or two other opportunities in there. We'd like to be playing with that wee bit more quality and that sort of cutting edge, but you'll understand that at times we're kind of throwing this together just now to make sure, you see young Ewan Wilson playing in the forward area today, Lennon Miller playing in the forward area today. We've kind of got what we've got at this minute in time, but I thought these lads acquitted themselves really well, all of them, especially in the second half.
Injury, unfortunately, is a key word for you right now. I know some people listen to these things and think, excuse, but you've got another one there to Apostolos, a new signing. How bad is that in the first place, and how bad is the overall situation? Yeah,
it's not great. It's not great, and please, I keep saying this, I'm never looking for anybody's sympathy. I'm not looking for anybody to feel sorry for me or this football club, the group of players. But I've never seen one like it, and we've had a few in my 18 months or so here as the manager. We've continuously had to dip into our academy and make sure that our squad is supplemented with young players. We've continually had to play young players, and I think it's quite clear to see that Rangers have invested a fair amount of money on their squad, and guys that will be in a position where they're fit, they're ready, they're able to go. Every team carries their injuries, but at this minute in time, I don't think there'll be another team in world football that probably sits in the position that we are, unfortunately. But I've just said it to the players there, Martin. It's a case of everything that we see in that dressing room today is what we've got available. We need to show resilience. We need to continue to show a wee bit of creativity and quality. We must be resolute in our defensive aspect as well. And most importantly, we'll need to stick together for the next few weeks to get us through this period where it's incredibly difficult. Of course it is. And there has to be that wee bit of protection for the guys that are in there as well, because quite simply we can't afford to lose any more players, because it puts us in a spot now. Any more than that, 9 I think it is now that we've got, and each one of them can be considered to start in my team. It's going to be a hard situation.
Thanks, Stuart.
Stuart Kettlewell there. So it finished Rangers 2, Motherwell 1, 1-1 in Dingwall, Ross County and Dundee United. We'll hear from both managers after the conclusion of this game at Dens Park. My goodness, what a romp so far for Dundee, leading by 3-0. Hearts had to change something. I know they have. I can see the pictures on the screen here. So I'll hand you back to your commentary team of Alan Preston and Rob McLean.
Yeah, no great surprise, Kenny, the way the first half ended. The second half is about to start with a hat-trick of changes in the Hearts team made by Stephen Naismith. You can imagine what that away dressing room was like in the last 15 minutes. Barry Mackay is going to stay indoors. George Grant and Daniel Oyegoke, those appear to be the 3 players coming off. And one of the players coming on for Hearts is the former Dundee midfielder Malaki Boateng. So that will be with an idea of getting a grip in the midfield area that Hearts just have not had in the game Yutaru Oda is going to be coming off the bench at half-time as well. And Jan Danda, we spoke about him pre-match, of course, outstanding against Rangers last weekend at Tynecastle. Not on from the start for this one, but he will be on from the start of the second half. So 3 changes immediately. Hearts are out on the pitch and ready to go. No sign of Dundee yet.
No, well, you know what? I think they've been given an earful, and it's one of them. Get out, just get out of my sight. Out you go. The ones that are staying in, off, 3 on. You need to get the next goal, Hearts. I know that Dundee lost the game at Tynecastle when they were 2 up at half-time last season. Hearts won 3-2. This is a different proposition. You can't just take it from a low-level performance as Hearts had in that opening period to raise it to try and get back in the game. They need to get the next goal. It's as simple as that. That's just to make a game of it. Yeah. You know, and but you'll have to see there has to be an energy and an enthusiasm that Dundee have got in abundance.
That's the applause which greets Dundee back onto the pitch, or at least John McCracken is out there, and followed by his teammates. And it's one of those occasions where one team is out on the pitch even a few minutes before the referee and his officials return. And as Alan said, you can imagine that the Hearts manager had a blast at his team and said, out you go, and put that right. So just confirmation of the changes now on the touchline as the 3 players come on. Oda, Boateng and Danda. And off have gone Oyugoke, Grant and Mackay. And I don't think anybody in Hearts colours today can be complaining about getting the hook, because it has been, well, shockingly bad from Hearts so far, I would say.
Well, I think the 7 outfield players that came out for the second half can find themselves lucky, because it could have been any of them. It could, and include Clark in that as well, actually, because his mistake was the opening goal. He was the one that started it.
Underway second half then at Dens Park, and on the back of that dramatic conclusion to the first half, Hearts thought they were going to get away with a 1-0 deficit the way things were going, but 2 goals in stoppage time have Dundee in a really strong position in the game now, and they'll just look to do what they were doing. But Hearts have to be transformed. Vargas down the left-hand side, cuts the ball back. An early second half goal for Hearts would certainly make a difference, change the complexion. And immediately Jan Danda is on the ball and making a run in field, then clipping the ball inside. Shankland lays it off to Vargas. Shot blocked. Immediately more urgency. The ball breaks back to James Penrice, and his left footer off the outside of his boot took a deflection, and it's tipped over the top by McCracken.
Yeah, bit of energy at the Hearts. It's a really good hit from Penrice. Slight deflection, as you rightly said. McCracken, nice touch over. I think might have hurt himself, the keeper, but a good save.
Yeah, it was moving at a rate of knots, dipping under the crossbar as the Dundee keeper dealt with it. Corner kick, Danda floats it in, back post, cleared as far as Boateng, back into the mix, shot blocked, cleared by Silla, and Dundee would be expecting to come under pressure at the start of the second half, and they'll just look to withstand it, ride out the storm, and then get back to business and resume what they were doing first half, which was hugely effective. But Hearts just trying to bring the game back to life at the moment after that stunning end to the first period. Gerald Taylor on the ball out on that right-hand side. Scorer of the own goal, which made it 2-0. Out on the left is Vargas. Got away from Ingram for a moment. Covering in behind was Portales. There's a calmness and a composure about Dundee. There's a belief as Portales again angles a pass into the middle of the pitch for Jordan McGee to stride forward and play the ball out wide left for Larkesh. Looking to link with Luke McCowan, it was down that side. Hearts were back on the ball briefly, but Dundee win it back. Ingram driving with the ball, rolling it out wide. In it comes from Palmer Holden. cleared at the near post by Hart. Certainly can't afford to be conceding again. You would imagine 3 might be enough already.
Well, you know, Tony Dockery will just be telling his side, just play it. You know, just make sure that you do your jobs, defend in the right areas, try and win second balls again. If they score a goal, great for them. If they don't, the game's done. Make sure you come out the second half, do your jobs. That's all he has to say.
Frankie Kent with the ball. And now Taylor at right back, the Costa Rican, floats it forward. Good header away by Jordan McGee. Dundee looking comfortable. And Lyle Cameron now has it, halfway, right-hand side. Sliding in was Vargas to win it for Hearts.
Hearts are just not up in the game. Once again, the ball's played forward, it's knocked down, and it's Cameron that gets onto it. Hearts, their midfield players are too far off the opposition midfield players.
The Dundee fans having fun in the sun at the moment. Great conditions weather-wise at Dens, and how they have enjoyed that first 48 minutes. I say 48 because 2 of the goals came in the 3 minutes of stoppage time. Xander Clark clearing more convincingly than he did earlier in the game, where he was guilty at setting up one of the Dundee goals. Meantime, a high boot from Lawrence Shankland and a free kick for Dundee.
Yeah, and Dundee will just take their time. No, there's no rush now in the second half for them. Make sure they've got their shape. Keeper will come out to the edge of the centre circle and then take the free kick from there. All the urgency has to come from Hearts in the second half, Rob.
They certainly blasted out of the blocks in the first couple of minutes after the restart, but you do feel they need to get a goal early on here to have any hope of making a game of this. Tiffany on the ball, twisting one way and then the other out on the left-hand side. Lively, and the man who scored the opening goal of the game after Clark's mistake. It's another 3 goals for Dundee, taking their total in the season so far to 23 goals in 6 games.
Very prolific, and that's a good thing. If you've got goal scorers on your side, you know, it's great. You're always in games, Dundee.
And they do have that cutting edge. A hint of a handball, maybe more than a hint of a handball from Mo Sila, but maybe Don Robertson's enjoying his performance as well, and he lets it go. Palmer Holden brushes aside the challenge of Penrice, cuts it back, and Dundee have a 4th goal.
They're asking for a handball against Silla. I don't think it was, but they're asking for it, Hearts. But again, too easy. Penrice has brushed off the ball. Yeah. Far too easy. Brilliant play from Silla again. He clips it, and then it's just strength with Penrice. Just rubbishes the left back out the way. Gets to the byline, rolls it across, and there's the little man again through the keeper's legs. 4-0.
And big chunks of Hearts supporters are heading home already, or maybe heading to the nearest bar to drown their sorrows, because this has gone from bad enough at half-time to even worse early second half. 3-0 becomes 4-0 as Hearts are picked off again. And when does this get to the embarrassing stage?
No, it's when the teleprinter doesn't put the number up, it prints the score. That's when it is, and the way this has got to be checked for a handball against Silla.
Yeah, there was I did have a feeling at the time. I think I mentioned that it did have a look of handball about it. Stephen Naismith had his arms out wide, screaming at the referee to say it was a handball, and he's having a little look at Don Robertson as the referee shades his eyes and has a look at the monitor here to decide whether Dundee's 4th goal should be a 4th goal. Well, he's had a look, heading back onto the playing surface, and goal given. Yep. Goal given. No handball against Silla.
No, it's a handball. It's a handball.
Oh, it is a handball.
But you're right. You know, the way he gestures his arms is as clear as mud. He points to the centre circle. That's what he does.
Yeah.
That's what he does. He points to the centre. Now, the foul's all but there. I get that.
Yeah. That's really confusing.
But surely his first gesture has to be touch his arm as if it's a handball.
Yeah.
Then there's no confusion. But if you point to the circle, you think it's a goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he'd be fooled, that's for sure. But it is 3-0 rather than 4-0, which doesn't make the Hearts fans. I wonder if those who've left are going to come back in because it's 3 rather than 4.
I wouldn't.
No, a lot bailed out, and they're not coming back. And a fresh batch are heading for the exits as well. An offside flag has gone up on the back of that free kick, and the Hearts' body language at the moment tells all. They look battered and beaten at the moment, and certainly the big numbers in the away support are not quite as big now, because a lot of Hearts fans don't really want to see any more of this.
No, and it's just simply not been good enough from every single one of them out there in that opening 45 minutes. There's not one that you could say would get past marks on a Hearts jersey. All the best players on the pitch have been Dundee players, whether it be the keeper with a save, the centre half for Tally. Silla's been the best player on the pitch for me. Cameron and McCowan. Murray's a nuisance, as we always know. Tiffany's been excellent.
A header won by Larkash. Not the tallest on the pitch, but he got up well there. He was determined as well, and that's what Dundee have had determination about them, although that's a mistimed challenge from Larkash, which is Gerald Taylor just about on the track.
He's got to be booked for that.
Yeah, Don Robertson's across with the yellow card. I think was he suggesting it was for a series of fouls? I think probably that one was enough.
Yeah, well, completely.
Dundee 3, Hearts 0. Just when it looked as if it was about to become 4-0, but that handball from Sila cancels out the latest occasion when the ball's in the back of the net behind Xander Clark. Forward comes the free kick from Danda for Hearts. Can they get a goal back? The ball drops for Lawrence Shanklin just inside the box, but he's off balance as he swings and hits the half volley on his left side, and it's well over the top of John McCracken's crossbar.
Yeah, it is. It's not been his day as well. Lawrence Shanklin has not been in the game, not been given any ammunition, can't link up with the midfield players. It's just been poor all over the pitch.
It's going to be some start to the season for Dundee, coming back to get a point against Dundee United in the derby last weekend, and what is looking like a very emphatic victory against Hearts here today. 4 points out of 6 will be very nice. Thank you for Dundee to start the new season. Down goes Malaki Boateng, the former Dundee player. Free kick for Hearts. Well, this cream change strip might dip in popularity.
It's like the Man United grey one.
Exactly. Forward it goes from Xander Clark up to the edge of the area. Jordan McGee with a towering header away. Boateng flicks it towards Taylor. Then it's Sila looking to break things up again in the midfield. He has been absolutely incredible for Dundee here today, like a magnet for the ball, and every touch has been a sure one.
Something you can't say about Clark with the ball at his feet.
No, he's looked a bag of nerves today, and of course you just wonder, had Dundee not got that early goal, how the game would have panned out from there. And it was panic stations from Clark where it really shouldn't have been.
First goal in any game's pivotal. You know, it gives the team that gets it a real lift, demoralising for the team that doesn't. And it was a manner of it. It was a cheap goal. It wasn't if Dundee cut them open. You know, it was really poor play by Clark.
Forward goes Kai Rolls, and he angles one out to the right-hand side for Oda. Haven't really seen him in the game so far, but that was a really good cut back for Jan Danda, and Danda goes very close to getting a goal back.
Yeah, it was better play, good ball, long ball from Rolls to Oda to the byline, blips it across, and there's Danda coming in, running late. Doesn't quite catch it right. I don't know if it flicks off the top of the bar, but a really good effort.
Yeah, I think he hit it into the ground, didn't he?
Yeah.
You did wonder if it was going to nestle in the back of the net for 3-1, but head in hands time for Danda, as it maybe clipped the frame of the goal, but it certainly didn't go in, and it stays at Dundee 3, Hearts 0. on Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. Earlier, Rangers 2-1 winners against Motherwell at Hampden, and Ross County came back to get a point against Dundee United at Victoria Park. Throw in here for Hearts. James Penrice to take it. Well, Dundee have been winning everything here today, including that header from Portales. Now it's McCowan who loops one forward. Boateng gets his head to it. Murray making a nuisance of himself. And Dundee sensing, despite that last goal being chalked off, there are more goals in the game for them if they can keep up this level of performance. Really good composed defending from Antonio Portales. He and McGee have looked very solid.
Yeah, Jordan McGee playing against his former side as well. Scored a goal against Hearts last year. Portales is, he just oozes class. He really does. He doesn't panic. He just plays it simple. Dundee have got a few of them.
Ingram doing well too. Sila threads it through. Under pressure, he just constantly gets his passes away, Mo Sila. It does sound like Al and I are co-founders of his fan club, but he has been mighty impressive this afternoon. Just very calm and understated the way he goes about his business.
McCowan and Cameron and Tiffany, they're the ones that will get all the headlines, but as a team player, Sila's brilliant. I'm sure every single Dundee player out there appreciates what he does for the team. He lets them all go forward, and he'll say, on you go, I'll protect in here, don't worry about this, I've got this. And today he's been magnificent.
Goal kick, Dundee in the Tayside sunshine in front of a stand packed with miserable Hearts fans who've hated every moment of this. Lots of them have gone. Those who are here are probably still watching it through their fingers. It's been one of those days. Down the line for Vargas, he slips and Ingram intercepts. Hearts win it back. Vargas scurries forward. Down he goes in the challenge with Sila, and it's a free kick for Hearts out on the left-hand side.
There's an opportunity here for Jan Danda to whip it in. Kent's going up, Rose is up. They're all up the park now. Hearts have got to get a goal in the next 5 minutes, whether they're going to try and make a fist of this match.
This free kick is about 5 yards in off the touchline, left-hand side. Jan Danda will take it.
It's something similar to the first half with Cameron, we were talking about trying to play it between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot.
And he didn't hear us either.
Yeah, very similar area.
Can Hearts get themselves a goal back? Danda to deliver. It's a low trajectory and Simon Murray's able to head it away. Boateng back into the mix. Here's a big chance. Surely it's a goal back. It's Frankie Kent on the end of the cross ball. Kept himself onside. Nodded down and away from McCracken. It's 3-1.
That's a good ball in from Boateng. Lovely clip in, and Kent, it must have been tight for offside because he looked on his own as if there was no one near him. And it's a good downward header. McCracken gets a hand to it but can't keep it out.
Well, it's not exactly a joyous reaction to that. There's maybe more
still checking it,
sighs of sympathy and maybe a few roars of defiance among the Hearts fans. It's a goal back, and could it happen, I wonder? Plenty of time to score more goals, but is that one going to stand?
Not yet, it's not given. Game's not started yet.
He's just holding up his hand, Don Robertson, to say, hold your horses.
If Hearts can come back for this is the best comeback since Daniel LaRusso and Karate Kid.
You'll have to explain that one to me, or maybe not.
He broke his leg and had to go in and got his leg sorted and won a karate competition.
Still they wait on the pitch.
Must be tight.
One of those interminable VAR checks. Dundee are ready to restart, but Don Robertson is not ready for them to take the kick-off.
Well, I thought Kent was in, acres of space, and there was no one near him.
Yeah.
You just wonder if the Dundee back four have pushed up. Kent's been caught, but it must be incredibly tight.
Yeah, it was floated in, wasn't it? So there was actually time for Kent to make his move and make it right and stay onside, and that's apparently what he did, because the goal stands. It is Dundee 3, Hearts 1 at Dens Park, as Kent gets a goal back, which is not a massive crumb of comfort to the Tynecastle team, you would say, but it might just be some sort of springboard for them.
Yeah, but we said they had to get the next goal to try and make a little fist of the game, if nothing else. You know, they've been very fortunate with the Silla one. It could have been 4-0, but they've got that one. They're back in the game. It's 3-1. They need to get the next goal again. We keep saying it.
The ball is hooked forward into the heart of the Dundee defence. Jordan McGee is across to hook that clear, bouncing out of play. There's an urgency about Hearts now, who sense they might be able to come back in the game here. It is time now for a choice of listening. You can stick with us on Radio Scotland Extra and 810 medium wave for the conclusion of this, and it could be a dramatic conclusion, who knows. Dundee 3, Hearts 1, and over on 92 to 95 FM. Take the floor live from the Edinburgh Festival, coming up shortly with Gary Innes, and that will be after the 7 o'clock news. Dundee 3, Hearts 1 at Dens, and well, it's a crucial phase in the game. Are Dundee going to get back to where they were in terms of superiority, or does that goal flick a switch for Hearts? You would have your doubts about that, but anything's possible. Stay with it, stay with us.
Yeah, it's been slightly better from Hearts in the second half. I think the substitutions have made a difference. There's a lovely ball in from Boateng for Kent to score that goal to get Hearts back in the game. Long way back still, though.
Yeah. Palmer Holden on the end of the throw-in from Ingram, two of the recent arrivals. Both look as if they are delivering the goods. Dundee still to make any changes to the team. Why would you when it's going swimmingly? So throw in right hand side for the home team. Winding up for the long throw, Ingram in at the near post, headed away by Boateng, and on the follow-up was Lyle Cameron. Right foot volley, always on the rise, over the top it went.
Yeah, and that's what Tony Docherty will just want to keep them in there if they can. They don't give Hearts any impetus at all in this match.
Kai rolls to James Penrice, down the line it goes. Ingram is there first. Out for a throw-in, a Dundee throw-in, despite the best efforts of Penrice to convince the officials otherwise. On halfway, Ethan Ingram throws it towards Simon Murray. It doesn't stick for him. Forward it goes. Silla clears it for Dundee. Now it's Zahid Larkesh down the left side of the box for Tiffany, his cut back. And Simon Murray was almost on the end of that. Out it goes on the far side for a Dundee throw.
I think that's shown as well the defensive frailties that Taylor's got. Is brilliant on the eye going forward, very athletic, really good. Not been able to get in the game today, but defensively today he's been caught short.
Throw in taken. Larkesh gets it back. Just a sliver of sunshine on the pitch down that side as the ball's worked into the middle for Murray, looking to create something, looking to hold it and lay it back. In the end, Boateng got it away, and down the pitch the ball is at the feet of keeper John McCracken. Fires it down the right hand side.
It's kicked about 4 out.
Yeah. Well, Palmer Holden did get his head to it, but he was 2 yards over the touchline when he did. Out for a Hearts throw-in. Tony Docherty animated at the moment in the technical area. He's been smoking a cigar for most of the game, but realises that this is an important stage in the game and he doesn't want Hearts getting another goal back. Danda forward, down the left. Slips it wider for Vargas. His cross ball fended away by Silla. Adjusted his body well to clear. Out for a throw-in, close to halfway. Stephen Naismith collecting the ball, giving it to Rolls and saying, get on with it. Let's get another goal back.
What Tony Docherty won't want is his team dropping deep. He'll want to try and get them up the park if they can.
He'll want them to get back to what they were doing first half, which was dominating. Rolls plays it forward for Hearts. Cushioned header from Ingram. Straight to Jan Danda. Dundee plays it wide for Taylor. Boateng fired in, took a deflection at the near post before flashing wide of target. So it will be a Hearts corner kick as they look to build on that goal back from Frankie Kent.
Yeah, and Larkesh has been booked. You would think Oda get at him as much as they can, get the ball out to Oda, take him on. The left back's on yellow card already.
Corner kick for Hearts, right hand side. Dundee plays it in, out swinging, not cleared, bobbing around in the box dangerously before it's worked back out wide for Dundee to clip it in.
He's got to score, Oda.
Oda coming in, trying to get the glancing header on it in front of McCracken. Goalkeeper managed to block it and clear it and scramble it away, but it did look like an opportunity for the Japanese substitute to get a touch on that cross.
Honestly, he's got to score. He gets anything on it, it's in the back of the net, he misses it completely. It's a brilliant ball in, it really is. But then Oda, just be brave. I don't know if he thinks he's going to get clattered by the keeper or what, but he's got to get something on that. If he does, it's in the back of the net.
Blair Spittle is next on for Hearts. They made 3 changes at the interval. They're about to make another one. That looked like a more than decent opportunity, didn't it, for Oda? It's going to be Devlin off, Spittle on. So a player certainly more likely to score or create than Devlin, and Hearts certainly have to be gambling a bit at this stage because they need a couple of goals to rescue a point out of this. Is it mission impossible, or do they believe that they can get something here? Dundee still have a man down.
I think Boateng and Dundee, especially Boateng, has made a big difference to Hearts in the middle of the park. Not only setting up the goal, Boateng, but just giving a composure and a bit of steeliness in that middle of the park there. Yeah. Oda could have been a hero there if he gets his head on the back of that. So his substitution, Stephen A. Smith, have made a difference.
Yeah, there's a bit more grit in the midfield, isn't there, with Boateng around, the way he plays, and they are carrying much more threat. They do look as if they mean more business, although that wouldn't be difficult when you look at Hearts' low-key first half showing. Well, low-key is one word for it. Hugely disappointing and a surprise half-time scoreline. It's going to be a stretcher coming on. Did you see who the Dundee player down was?
I think it's a left back, is it not?
Is it Larkesh?
Larkesh, yeah, I think so.
So this could be a delay in the game.
On the pitch.
Yeah, a tiny pitch invader is on, and well, he gets a hug from Lawrence Shanklin, so maybe it was all worthwhile. Back he goes. And then trips on the tracker, having not quite made it back to the stand. Yeah, we're going to have a delay of a few minutes here.
Yeah, we're 26 minutes into the second half. Yeah. There'll be obviously the VAR check for the handball, the Hearts goal. This you'd be talking 6-7 minutes added on.
The Dundee fans are going to get their first look at Billy Kumetio coming off the bench, wearing number 20, pretty much in the door, just in the door. 5 years at Liverpool, France under 20 international. He came through the Lyon Academy, I think, in France. He was at Rapid Vienna at some stage as well. He's got a really good CV, so I think there's plenty of reason for excitement about what this guy might bring to Dundee.
Yeah, and Tony said in his interview at the start with you, Rob, that he's one they've been after for a while. They found it difficult to get him in. They've worked diligently to get him in, and they'll be absolutely delighted that he's managed to get him on a 2-year contract.
Well, let's hope that is not as bad as it looks for Zihad Larkesh, the 21-year-old on loan from Queen's Park Rangers, the Frenchman, who's been very good in the game along with all the other Dundee players. They really haven't had a disappointment in terms of performance today. Really good. So that will be a straight swap. Well, not a straight swap. Jordan McGee will go to left back, and Billy Kumeti will play in the middle. of the defence alongside Portales. As the ball goes behind for a Hearts corner kick, so could be immediately involved, Cometio, as Dundee look to defend this set play. Corner kick left-hand side, 3-1 Dundee. 3-0 at half-time. Danda plays the corner kick in. Great punch, John McCracken. Well, there were lots of players around him, but that exited the 6-yard box like a bullet off the goalkeeper's fist. So good goalkeeping.
Yeah, very good. Good punch, clears his area, and then Dundee managed to clear it. A couple of headers, Boateng on the far side. Let's get on as a referee. Nah, it's fine. I thought the referee had stopped play for a VAR check. He's not. It's like everything. Stephen Naismith's wanting the game to hurry up. He's wanting Dundee, and Tony Docherty's telling his team rightfully just to relax.
Yeah, there was that delay when Larkesh went off on the stretcher, and since then Dundee are just happy to slow things down as often as possible and disrupt the game as often as possible. They have that 3-1 advantage. They are heading for 3 precious Premiership points at the moment. Boateng plays one down the line for Oda for Hearts. One of 3 interval switches for the Tynecastle team. The ball flicked into the penalty box and cleared by Mosilla. Didn't quite stick for Simon Murray, but he's putting in a fair old shift up top as usual for Dundee. Even when he's not on the ball, he's a constant menace. Dundee have it back, won by Ingram, and now Palmer Holden on the drive, and can he move this to Tiffany left-hand side? It's got Tiffany, and he chips it over the top. What a chance from 10 yards out. It was rolled in front of him. Whether it bobbled or not, I'm not sure. It was Palmer Holden with the setup, and Tiffany should have been making it 4-1.
Ah, brilliant. Palmer Holden, what a run that is. He shrugs people off and goes by them. It's just a change of pace, and then you think, can you show composure and pick out your teammate? He can. He rolls it lovely into Tiffany, and then it goes horribly wrong. Tiffany's been brilliant as well, but he just flips it over the top of the crossbar.
Off goes Kenneth Vargas for Hearts. On comes Liam Boyce, who's wearing number 27 these days, with Barry Mackay wearing number 10, which was his number. But he's on, looking to give Hearts some more goal threat as they try to find 2 goals to get something out of this game.
Yeah, there's a big onus now on Boateng because he's the really only defensive-minded one. Spittle likes to go forward. Danda, we know his ability. Boyce and Shanklin. So it's down to Boateng to try and... But you know what, Hearts have got nothing to lose now. They'll just throw men forward at will.
Back from Cometio to McCracken, and the goalkeeper fires it forward. Looking to play the rest of the game in Hearts half if they can. McCowan's pass for Tiffany, scuttling his way down the left-hand side. Back from McCowan. Got the break of the ball there for a moment, the Dundee captain, before Hearts cleared. And it's collected by Cometio, who looks pretty calm and confident, having stepped off the bench. He's been a Dundee player probably for a matter of hours, but looks like he could be yet another good signing for Tony Docherty and his team, looking to strengthen after the great season they had last time around. Overachieving last season and maybe set to do same again on the evidence of what we've seen so far. Penrice for Hearts trying to play a pass down the line. Ingram intercepting. It goes out for a Hearts throw-in. Time running away for the Tynecastle team here as they try to get something out of this. There's always going to be a tall order coming back from 3-0 down at half-time. Rolls and Penrice looking to combine on the left-hand side. The ball goes out. Dundee fans furious as Penrice takes the throw-in. Cometio in the end heads it behind for a corner kick. And the Dundee fans reckon that should have been a Dundee throw rather than the other way round.
Yeah, I think it possibly was. Everyone around us thinks it was anyway.
I think it went off the heel of Penrice. Corner kick for Hearts. Danda swings it in.
Chance.
And a header over the top.
Kent.
from close in. Kent, who did score earlier, had another opportunity there. There are 3 Dundee players on the deck at the moment, and it did look as if Kent could have been heading that in again.
It could have been, yeah. He was right in the middle of it, but Murray goes down for Tales, and I think it's McGee as the 3, putting their bodies on the line. Kent was really good in the air, as we've seen. He scored a good goal, scored a few for Hearts actually in there. That was another opportunity to try and get the second goal.
A lot to like about Hearts last weekend in the draw at Tynecastle with Rangers, but it's been a real transformation today, this evening.
Look at Murray. That is what Simon Murray's all about. He's got no divine right to win that ball. He puts his head where Rose is putting his foot, and he gets the throw in, what, a yard from the Hearts byline for Dundee. Brilliant play from Murray.
He does set the tone, doesn't he, Simon Murray, in this never say die attitude. He gives nothing up, and of course he's helped himself to 5 League Cup goals already, just very much as he did with Ross County this time last year. Throw in for Dundee, close to the corner flag. Ingram with it. They don't give foul throws these days. They might have done. They might have done for that one. Back to Ingram, his cross ball. I think there was a shout for a handball. It'll either be a free kick or a corner kick. I think it's going to be a corner kick for the home team. And well, Luke McCowan's not quite trotting across. I don't think this would quite qualify as a trot. He's going so slowly. Dundee have their eyes on the clock and running it down.
Yeah, we've got about 11 minutes to go, plus whatever added on, but you're right, he's in no rush, and why should he be?
This corner kick is on the right-hand side. Luke McCowan fires it in at the near post, headed away by Shankland. And then when the ball broke back, he thumped it down the field, and Oda's after it, and McCracken puts his head on it, and lucky. Great covering from Ingram as the ball popped up off his goalkeeper's head because he was outside the penalty box, and Ethan Ingram heads it behind for a corner kick.
Oh, McCracken's lucky. It's just a smash up the park from Shankland, clearing it from his own box, goes over the centre half's head, and then the keeper comes out. He gets a horrible header on it. Oda's almost in.
Hearts have another corner. Danda with it, out swinging, getting his head to it at the near post. Well, he's here, there, and he's everywhere. Simon Murray. It's gone behind for same again. Back in his hometown, Murray, and playing a big part here, despite not being among the goals.
Be an interesting 10 minutes if this could go on.
Don Robertson sorting out a cluster of players around the penalty spot. Danda's latest corner kick, lots of height on it, beyond the back post, and easily flicked away by Lyle Cameron. It was beyond all the Hearts players, and it's gone out on the other side for a throw.
Taylor's got a long throw in.
Blair Spittle leaves it to Gerald Taylor. Hearts need something to happen pretty soon if they're to come up with one of those classic comebacks. Taylor's throw into the mix. Oh, what an opportunity for Oda. Again. Came off a Dundee head at the near post. It flicked up. Oda surely had to be burying the chance, but it was pretty much straight at McCracken.
Oh, honestly, either side of the keeper, and that's in the back of the net. That's 2 chances Oda's had. One he's completely fresh-aired and missed the header. That one he's got to score.
Hearts left wishing that had come to Lawrence Shankland. I think we know where the ball would have been had it been Shankland's head on the end of that. And they have passed up opportunities, Hearts, to get themselves right back into this. Down goes Tiffany on the far side, and that will be a Dundee free kick against Taylor. And Dundee will be happy just to delay things for another few seconds.
Yeah,
Hearts are giving it plenty.
They have, but the horse is bolted, Rob. First half damage is done. You can't start in the second half. A football match, it's as simple as that. Dundee absolutely hammered them in that first half. They were lucky to get away with 3. They were lucky it wasn't 4. But the handball with Silla, when that goes in, you think that's it. Hearts then get a goal back in. They've had chances. Oda's had a couple of headers that he should have certainly scored with.
Yeah. hooked forward by Boateng for Hearts. A bit of grappling going on the halfway line between Silla.
Oh, that's quick.
And Oda nipping in behind and trying the angle shot, but it was a good challenge in the end from Jordan McGee, which got in the way of the angled effort from Oda.
Well, it's a high kick.
Must have taken its last touch off the Japanese substitute.
Well, you can see that Oda's got the beating of Jordan McGee there. Hearts have got to get the ball out to him if they can. He's got to take him on.
Goal kick Dundee, 3-1 they lead. Well, who would have predicted 3-0 Dundee at half-time here at Dens? But it's been some return to their home patch after playing their League Cup ties at Brechin, while the playing surface here was finished off. They've christened it in some style. But this is not over yet. Hearts have to keep on believing. They've got a lot to prove on the back of a lethargic first half, and the ball in behind on the left-hand side is chased by Lawrence Shanklin, but you sensed he was never quite getting there. And behind it goes for a goal kick, and rather than knocking the ball back to John McCracken to take the goal kick, which would have seemed sensible the way things are, he just boots it away in frustration.
Yeah, you would think that, you know, Tony Docherty, as he is learning off of Derek McInnes. Derek used to like sticking on defenders when he's got a 3-1 lead or a 3-0 lead or whatever it is, and stick another body on to defend and see the game through. He's a master at it, Derek.
Yeah. But sometimes you just introduce a defensive philosophy at that point, don't you? And everybody sucks back into
but Hearts have, this has been probably the best spell of the game for Hearts this last 5-10 minutes. And maybe Tony can see it's just changing.
A high boot against Ethan Ingram, who's I think must have caught him on the shoulder by the looks of it, because he's gone down for a moment. Dundee's number 2, and then just as quickly he's back up again. I think he'll be okay. I think he'll survive. But you use everything you can at this stage when you're trying to run down the clock. And Dundee can see the finishing line here.
Yeah, we're inside the last 5 minutes.
Luke McCowan clips one into the corner. Simon Murray chasing. Well, he's chased everything, so he was going to chase that. And it's a goal kick for Zander Clark to play out to Kai Rolls.
It's an unbelievable level of energy that Murray's got in every game.
Yeah. It's actually ridiculous, isn't it? The amount of running he gets through. Crossfield from Rolls, flicked away by Tiffany. And it's back with the Australian central defender again, and Jan Danda just in front of him, the former Ross County midfielder. Down the left he goes, and then he jinks back to try and find himself some room. Boateng on halfway. Boateng, Danda and Oda were the half-time switches. We haven't seen too much of Blair Spittle, but he's on the ball right now. Boateng across the pitch again for Danda. Threads it through. Oda with his back to goal. Spinning away, just manages to keep possession. And it's worked across to Rolls, and then Spittle left-hand side. Infield again, touched back by Boateng.
Not every Dundee player's back. Hearts are finding it difficult to break through.
Wide right, Taylor. Back to Danda. Not like him to miscue a cross, but he did. And now Dundee on the break, but maybe McCowan showing signs of a little bit of tiredness as he failed to control that. Taylor trying to get the cross in from the right. It was blocked. Down goes Scott Tiffany in the end. And well, even when you hit the deck at the moment, you're getting a round of applause from the Dundee fans, because they're happy that they're getting a few seconds closer to the final whistle.
And this will be an interesting one. I agree with us, Rob. Silla, man of the match.
Yeah.
I agree with us. He's been magnificent from start to finish. He's hardly gave the ball away. He's won his tackles. Every battle that's against him, whether it be Boateng, whether it be Grant, Devlin, He's been the dominant player in this pitch.
Yeah, and he would certainly get the vote in the Dundee dressing room as well, wouldn't he, from all those players who play in front of him, who are able to just get on with what they do and play with freedom because they know that he's going to keep the door locked in behind them.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. You know, you see it all over the world. Players like that just sit and protect, they're worth their weight in gold.
On the ball, Gerald Taylor, his own goal, made it 2-0 for Dundee first half. Before McCammon's penalty made it 3. Frankie Kent with the goal back for Hearts. And you did wonder at that point whether they could get another one and set up some sort of grandstand finish. But right now they're heading fast towards full time. And again, Tiffany goes back down the left-hand side to thwart Taylor in his attempts at getting the ball in the box for Hearts.
They're all up again. Rose is up, Kent's up. Long throw in from Taylor.
Hearts got to be throwing everything at this. In comes the long throw at the near post from Taylor. Just soaked up by a cluster of players before Kumetio got it away for Dundee. And he seems to have settled in pretty seamlessly to that defensive role, the young Frenchman, as Tony Docherty now makes another change. Curtis Main is going to be joining the action for the last few minutes.
Simon Murray.
Simon, he probably has to put a hook around the neck of Simon Murray to get him off, to persuade him to come off. He was going to come off on this side, and then he decided he was going to go on the other side. Maybe to delay or maybe just so he can do a complete lap of honour around Dens. And he deserves all the applause he's getting.
He does, because I think if you're a young footballer with any aspirations, you come and watch Simon Murray just for his energy. First, you know, he works tirelessly, never gives up any ball that's played over the top, even if it's a 60-40 against him. He tries to win it. He's got a wonderful attitude to the game.
He's also got some set of batteries, hasn't he, Simon Murray? Ingram's clearance was partially blocked by Liam Boyce, but he got it away at the second attempt. 7 minutes are going to be added to the 90, and a lot of that is down to the injury to Larkesh. He was treated on the pitch for a while, then he was stretchered off, so that explains the 7 minutes which are currently being added on, and that's all that stands between Dundee and a famous victory here against Hearts. Who would have thought that that first half could have been as one-sided as it played out?
Yeah, and that's where the damage was done as far as Hearts and Stephen Naismith's concerned. As Simon Murray walks in front of the main stand, getting a standing ovation, and rightly so. Yeah. But I think the damage was done, Rob, in that opening period. I think as he got the team wrong, personnel wrong, the manager will be looking at himself and saying, OK. But equally, it's the desire and the application from the players in that opening half. It just simply wasn't good enough.
Ethan Ingram was down for a spell there, but back on his feet, ready to resume. Just stoppage time in the way of a big celebration for the Dundee fans. And, well, they felt pretty comfortable throughout, right from the start when Tiffany scored early, then the 2 first half stoppage time goals, and I guess the only time the Dundee fans felt in any way uncomfortable was when Frankie Kent scored early enough in the second half to mean that Hearts might have sparked some sort of comeback, but it's a matter of minutes remaining now, and Dundee are 2 goals in front. Corner kick for Hearts on the left hand side. Danda delivers, and it's well defended, and there might be a bit of icing on the cake here as Tiffany broke forward with the ball. Advantage is being played. He was pulled back. There was a big tug on his jersey.
There'll be 2 bookings here.
And there's another cynical foul, and Don Robertson firstly flashes a yellow at Frankie Kent.
No, it's Shanklin, actually.
Was it?
Shanklin and Penrice.
Ah, right.
Penrice was, he's holding on to the Dundee player. And then the second one, Shanklin just has a kick. That's just sheer frustration. We've seen it a couple of minutes ago when he smashed the ball back onto the pitch. Sheer frustration.
Yeah, and sheer cynicism as well. Cynical challenges, and they tell a story of a miserable early evening on Tayside for the Hearts players and fans and everyone connected with the club. It's been poor. A little flurry of comeback second half, but nothing that was ever going to stop Dundee getting what they deserve from this. And they have a free kick midway inside the Hearts half left side. Just nonchalantly chipped out towards the touchline to Tiffany from McCowan. Out for a Hearts throw-in. Taylor flings it forward. Oda knocks it back. Hearts somehow work it down the left-hand side for Penrice. Plays it infield for Spittle. Down goes Boateng, and that will be a free kick against Lyle Cameron. A late opportunity for Hearts to get the ball in the box. We'll get the reactions afterwards of Stephen Naismith and Tony Docherty. There will be two very much contrasting reactions to this. Here's the Hearts free kick, and Blair Spittle bends it in beyond the back post, and it's Kumetio who heads it behind, taking charge, the big Frenchman.
He's done well, Kumetio, since he's come on. He's just cleared his lines. There's no nonsense with him at all. Won his headers, smashed one out the park when they were under a bit of pressure a couple of minutes back. Looks another good acquisition.
Danda's corner kick for Hearts, curling in, another good punch from McCracken, collected by Spittle, rolls it back wide. Danda stands it up, back post. Good goalkeeping again, John McCracken. He's done pretty well when he's been under pressure, when the ball's been dropped in on him with lots of players around. When he's punched pretty well. And when he's caught the ball, he's managed to get his gloves wrapped around it like that one.
Yeah, he's looked very confident. He has. That one blip where he comes out his box and Oda almost knocks it into the back of the net. But apart from that, he's been very, very good.
And it's one of those days where there hasn't really been a failure in dark blue.
They've been excellent from start to finish. They've been really good. They've won every single battle. If Tony Docherty makes this personal 1v1, every single Dundee player's won their battle.
It's going to be a goal kick for Dundee. And we're well into that 7-minute spell of stoppage time, the minimum that was being added on to the 90. Dundee are thinking about a change. I'm not sure if there'll be time to get him on, but yeah, well, the ball is out of play now. And it is Finlay Robertson who's going to be coming off the bench if there's time for that.
And it's one of these where the chief executive's down there saying, don't put him on, we've won the game. He's getting an appearance money.
And well, it's as much to let Scott Tiffany get this reception from the home support as it is to get Finlay Robertson on the pitch, because Tiffany has been tireless and he's played a big part. He scored the opening goal, he won the penalty for the third goal, and a bit like Simon Murray, he's been non-stop.
Excellent, and he scored that fourth goal that was ruled off as well. Yeah. He's been brilliant, he really has. You know, it's consistency with Tiffany. He's got everything you want, trickery, pace, you know, sees an eye for goal, good crossing of the ball. He used to do it on a consistent basis, but he's been brilliant today, as have every Dundee player.
Almost finished at Dens, the ball is out close to the corner flag up at the Xander Clark end of the pitch. Curtis Main with a little back heel. Dundee are almost at the showboating stage of the game, because they know 3 points are coming their way any second now. Penrice with the throw, flicked on by Boyce. Back it comes from Portales, another quiet but authoritative performer for Dundee, the Mexican central defender. He launches it forward, Hearts get it away, comes off Ingram on its way out. Hearts take a quick throw, and Lawrence Shankland took it. Oda collects it on the byline. Was there a handball? The Dundee fans thought there was. Not given. Danda out on the left-hand side, looking to get a crossing position. Forced back the way by Portales. Hearts work a 1-2 and Taylor swings it in, and it's an unchallenged catch this time for John McCracken. Don Robertson having a little look at his watch.
Any second now.
An equaliser in the derby last weekend, which gave them a precious point across the road. And now 3 points, 3 goals, and a dominant Dundee blow away Hearts on the second weekend of the season. All the damage was done in the first half, and there was really no way back for the Tynecastle team. Frankie Kent headed one in for them, and you just wondered whether they could get the job done and scramble something out of the game. But Dundee were too good from start to finish, and certainly in that first 45 minutes, when Scott Tiffany scored early on after a pretty horrendous mistake by Xander Clark. And the other 2 goals in the first half came in stoppage time. Hearts thought they were going to get away with a 1-0 deficit. Dundee had other ideas. Simon Murray's cross from the byline, miscued by Gerald Taylor into the back of his own net. And before the half-time whistle had gone, Scott Tiffany had done more damage, tripped inside the box. And Luke McCowan did what he did last weekend in the derby. He was clinical from the penalty spot. And it was an incredible half-time scoreline here at Dens. 3-0 Dundee. The goal back from Kent, no crumb of comfort for Hearts, who were pretty awful in the first half. But you have to look at both sides of the coin, and Dundee turned in a magnificent performance here. And they have 4 points out of 6 to start this Premiership season. It was a sparkling first half from them. They've beaten Hearts at Dens by 3 goals to 1.
This is Sports.